and you hear this noise, and it goes buzz. You're thinking, oh my gosh, it's a bee. I need to kill it. I need to get rid of it. But did you know that if you got rid of the bee and how much they affect us, about 50%, more than 50% of our food is made from the bee's honey. American products you use like cosmetics, tools, anything like that has come from the bees, and also because the world is alive thanks to the bees and all they do to spread the pollen and everything we've done. Yay! So this is bees. So basically everything we use has honey. I don't know if you know that, whether it comes to lotion, whether it comes to like lipstick also. So everything we have comes from bees. The pollen they create is for the fruits that you guys use. So without pollen, your fruits can't grow. So and then it's very important to me because when I was pretty young, I got stung by like I think it's like a swarm of bees because I aggravated them. So something like that, and then I learned that I told to the doctor, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to kill all of them. They're mean and rude. And then he actually educated me like how much they're important to me, and so like ever since then, I've always like, if I see a bee, I'm like, don't kill it. It's not worth it, because like it's hurting you more than it hurts like me. So so what the point is to learn about the importance of the bees and what they do for us, and then we also need to learn about what's causing them to disappear, which is going to greatly affect our environment as a whole. So the one of the bad news for us is the disappearing of the colony. It's called colony collapse disease, so CCD. So the thing about CCD is that it specifically targets the worker bees. So whether that be, so the queen bee is out to the bees doing her business, and then the worker bees are there. So the worker bees are to make the honey. They're supposed to gather the pollen and then come back to the hive. But then the thing about the CCD is that the worker bees are just dying. So mostly targets the worker bees. So another thing, how it affects us is that since the worker bees have to carry out the pollen, that means we're losing a lot of pollen as well. We're losing fruits. So it's like a ridiculous amount of bees are dying. So what causes them is that stress. A lot of stress. Bees have a lot of stress due to the fact that they have to go back to the hive. They have to know what time it is for the sun before it comes down. They have to have a certain amount of pollen, or else the hive dies. So an increase of stress actually causes them to die. And then with the help of humans interaction, like we change our crops, like we modify our crops with like pesticide. Are mostly like sulfotannins, like radiation causes them to get even more stress. So like they're just practically dying from a lot of human interaction. And then according to the United States Department of Agriculture, about 30 to 90% of the bees have died since like 2006, I believe. So around there, that's like around 3 to 4 millions of bees dead because of this disease. So that food is going to drop a lot. We should expect prices to raise as well. Yeah. So then my main point too, I brought it about earlier, is human products that are made from the honey and pollen. So human products such as lotion and you can see there some gum, some ink. It's also made from honey. So we use the honey in order to create ink and stuff, and then the pollen is we use to help create more fruits in our like apples, watermelons, all over. So we create more fruits with them. So things like also not only watermelon, but things like mostly fruits are affected by the pollen. So because they're not self-reliant on pollen rather than the vegetables are, so they really need the bees to be there. So we actually have a lot of beehives located in fruit places so that they can continue to pollen the fruits. So the second thing, so I know you guys like steak and like chicken and like pork, but then if the bees are gone, you won't have that because a lot of the animals rely on pollen, like vegetables and fruits that that they feed the cows and chickens and pork. So basically what their food has will be gone. So if they're gone, then that means the animals are gone. So like there will be a drop in like cows, no more burgers, it's going to be very, very traumatic. So according to M. Thornley, she's the creator of a national website for, I think it's like bee advancement. She says that the animals actually rely on them more than the humans do. So the animals in fact have to like wild animals have to find their own food, and then thanks to the bees and the pollen, their food is accessible to them. But for us, it's like we're kind of destroying what the food is trying to be accessible to them, so we're indirectly killing them. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is what bees do for the environment. So you can see that first one, the bee is trying to get the pollen, and then all these trees and plants are thanks to the pollen spreading to other trees. So when a tree gets fertilized, so the tree needs fertilizer, and a bee is able to help fertilize it with pollen. So it would create a bunch of other flowers and a lot of actually fruits too. So thanks to those, like fruits grow. So it's kind of going back to the thing, but if there was no environment, that would mean the preys like a bunny would need more food, because if there's no food growing, then they're dead, which means that the predators are dead, because coyotes, like hawks, they rely on the bunnies to eat, so they can grow. So they can grow in the food chain. So the food chain continues, but if you stop at the beginning, then there's no more food chain. So the FSPS is a website about bees' environments and how it's damaged. It's really getting hurt right now. So most trees and flowers need pollen. There are some that self-pollinate themselves, but mostly they need the bees' pollen. So it's very important to realize that a lot of the trees and the flowers that grow out there, you won't be able to see them anymore. So I want to show you something. See this cute bunny? It's so cute, right? It's very cute bunny, and it's gone. There's no more. If we take out the honey, there's no more bunnies, and that's pretty much everything that matters. So things like cell phone radiation, like what I said earlier, it actually causes the bees to like stress, so they get very stressed, like what I said earlier. So in conclusion, I basically showed you how the bees are dying, what the bees do for humans, and then what do the bees do for the environment as a whole. And I hope that you further understand it. And in the end, I just want you guys to understand, to have a better appreciation for the bees, and to understand how important they are to us. And that's it.